Hello everybody and welcome back to 7 Days to Die Alpha 18 with me, Lady Sheila, and the great and wonderful Aavak over there.
Hello everyone.
Red dungarees.
I can't see my legs. I trust you though.
What? I said red dungarees. Nothing about your legs.
But I mean, like, I can't see my legs.
But they're dungaree shorts, so you can't even see them on your legs, really. They only come down to like halfway down your thighs.
They're actually only shorts. There you go.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh, it looks like dungarees, but you've got a red vest, and shorts on. So anyway, and by the time you've got your armor over the top and stuff.
Yeah. I've been playing a bit of Fashion Souls with my
Fashion Souls. I have too. My character looks blinking awesome. Look at the purple. I need to
agree.
dye my coat though. I need to do something.
Well, there should be purple dye around.
Oh, there's plenty. I just haven't had time.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome.
Following last night's traumatic end to our survival streak. That was a bit of a shame.
I know. We had no deaths so far.
Made
that
it
was
to 34.
So sad.
Day 34. Certainly later than in the last series where I died, I think, first to a glitch and then to a mine, or was it to a mine and then a glitch? I can't remember.
Yeah, you know what?
I had died a few times.
At least it was an exciting death.
Indeed, indeed it was.
Yeah.
My only regret is that I didn't have like a Molotov cocktail or a grenade handy just to trigger it as I inevitably was going down. It's like, martyrdom grenade.
I regret two things. I regret that the design of the base is kind of a little bit not going to work. And also I regret...
You come to that conclusion, have you?
Yeah, and also I regret that I was almost tempted to do a new one for this horde, but I thought I see how it goes, and it went badly, so we're going to just do a new one, I think. But the other thing I regret is that you tried to come out and save me, and you ended up dying.
Oh, it's fine. If you can't die to save your friends, then, what good is death anyway? But we definitely... Oh, no, don't. Heresy. Yeah. Okay, so as you well know, from the very onset of this series, I've taken an intentional backseat role when it came to the base design, as Sheila expressed a desire to actually learn that part of the game. She's never really worked on base design before. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the amount of bases that I built that failed spectacularly before I became what I would, humble brag, #, became good at base design, uncountable, an uncountable number. So, this being one of your first attempts, it did really, really well. And actually, I'm going to be honest, it was a much more fun base than my very efficient base in the last series.
There were parts of the base that worked well and that we can take on to other bases and use those particular techniques and tricks and things, like the guns you designed, the water and the electric seem to be quite powerful.
Yeah, certainly. I'd be happy to move that forward, yeah. Just repairing a few odds and sods ready for sale. We've got a nice level 5 iron spear there to sell. But so have you got a pretty solid idea now? Because we had a little bit of a powwow following the last episode, and we threw around a couple of ideas. One of them being Sheila's earlier discussion about the turtle base, the design that she had, and so I left it with her to decide on what she wanted to do. Again, I'm treating this very hands off. I'm here in an advisory role only.
We're going to do like a modified turtle base, because I was going to go with a 4-pronged arm idea. But now I think we might just go with a corridor where the zombies can come in 2 different directions, so that they're not so tempted to be like, we'll dig through the walls. If they come from one direction or the other direction, they can kind of choose the closest entrance to them.
Right.
And not have it into a mountain, but to manually reinforce the walls, just because of the sort of game stage we're at the moment. We're basically at the point where we're going to be getting blocks that are worth like 7,500 hit points each. So digging into a 500 hit point mountain doesn't seem like it's as good an idea as it would have done sort of previously. So that's the idea. And we'll see how that works. And we'll see whether... And we'll, again, take some more lessons from this as to the AI pathing.
Yeah, absolutely. We've definitely got a couple of visitors outside. So
We
I just wanna
do.
go and deal with those if I can. We are both in a party, so hello, zombies.
Fantastic.
Oh, hello there, zombie cop. No, thank you. Please and
The
thank
cops
you.
are everywhere
Stay away.
nowadays, aren't they? Those zombie
I know,
cops.
they really are. But
Are you okay, though?
Oh, yeah, these are just walkers. No ferals, other than a cop, and it's just a regular cop as well. But definitely feeling that the base that we had, it was the mountain working against us, I feel.
Yeah.
In large part, I feel that
I
the
think
mountain
other
was
parts of the design, though, were really good, so I want to keep some of them. And get rid of the bad parts, basically.
Oh dear, he's gonna blow.
Boom.
And he took out all the other zombies. Well, didn't really hurt them all, but didn't really take them out. There's bits of them falling from the sky still. That is amazing.
That's hilarious. Oh my goodness, they're all... That's so funny.
That was glorious.
There you go.
A little bit of a
Give you a hand.
splotch in the ground.
Let's see how much ammo I was left with. Oh, like a good 300. That's all right.
I went through the vast majority of mine.
Okay, well, that's fine. We can make tons more because we just needed a bit of time. I was in the middle of making extra chemistry sets and extra workbenches and all sorts of stuff. So this side of things is really good. And obviously keeping the horde base separate was, super good idea.
Yeah. I certainly think so.
Especially while it was one that we were like, well, this is a bit experimental.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gathering up all of the plants.
There's another zombie bashing somewhere, so I'm just going to go and see.
Probably a leftover from the horde that we didn't manage to
I'll
properly
just go see where he is, because it just irritates me, the sound of them bashing, and then I worry that they'll...
It's around the back. It's in exactly the same place as the last one. There we go.
Yes? Okay.
But I don't think the gun turret's really unloaded much at all. So
no, so you might be able to just take some ammo out of there to do you for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Another potato seed. Ah, glorious. More potatoes. Could actually get some more blueberries as well, if I really want to, and I think I do. I would rather have more blueberry seeds. Recipes, blueberry seed, craft. Right, I've got enough supercorn now to make another supercorn seed as well. Not bad, actually.
I'm going to have to chop up the kitchen counters, I think, to put the workbench in.
That's fine.
Just not fitting anywhere. Eventually we'll abandon this place for a nicer base anyway.
Yeah, indeed. We're not going to always be here. Grab these mushroom spores.
There we are. It's part of the kitchen counters now. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of that.
Marvellous. I'm going to make a couple more blocks for farm plots. Am I lacking nitrate? Oh, we've got a lot of that. That shouldn't be an issue. Now, how are we producing more gunpowder right now?
Yeah, we should be there should, if you check the chem set, be a big job going for like 1,000.
Excellent.
There we are.
Right. Well, I think one of the big things that has been that we've been trying to combat is the fact that the zombies have been led to dig into the side of into the side of the horde base. Now, one thing I noticed that I wasn't certain of this previously, but I was afforded the opportunity to observe it in action when it was just a wandering horde, not a blood moon horde. A horde that wasn't aware of our presence at the time started burrowing. And I think it's because in some cases, they basically hit a wall in their pathing. And at that point, they will just demolish what's in front of them. They'll try a little bit to work out if they can go around it or over it or under it.
Yeah.
But their tolerance for how complicated that path can be is very, very low. if it seems too complex, they'll just try to go through the building rather than around it. And we've seen that time and time again in actual buildings where the building isn't particularly large. They could easily have just gone around the side, but they don't. They just try to burrow straight through what's in front of them. And I think a little bit of that was part of the problem in the Horde base. I think that part of what we need to work on there is to get the Horde base to a point where it will... Well, rather any other Horde base, there are options for moving around the base. So it shouldn't have too large of a footprint in any particular direction. If the zombies just want to pass by, they should be able to pass by. And when it comes to the Blood Moon then, if they want to get from any particular point that they're at to the front door, which is where we want them to be going, they should be able to navigate to that front door.
Which is why the idea of the turtle base was always to have sort of, have it like a turtle shell, effectively, so that it's, they can walk over
from any
it
particular direction, they can move in.
Nothing's in their way.
Now, making it literally with 2-axis symmetry, so you've got an entrance from the north, from the south, from the east, and to the west, is definitely doable. It would increase, it would magnify the amount of effort involved by quite a lot, I would imagine. But it's absolutely something that we can work on. The alternative is to only have a north and a south. Now, remember that my previous base had that in the last series. And even if the zombie horde spawned approaching from the west, or indeed from the east, or whatever it was. I can't actually remember if the entrances were north and south aligned or whether they were east and west. But, whichever ones didn't have an entry point, they would still always path around to one of the entry points. They wouldn't just wail on the walls. They would make their way to the front.
I think it's when you literally only have a north-facing entrance and they come from the south, then they're just like, that's way too long for us to go,
Yeah. I think a big chunk of this problem is that they already start so far away in that horde base. Honestly, if that horde base was just a corridor and was just heavily reinforced except for the front, but had a very reasonably heighted roof, the zombies probably wouldn't try to dig.
Yeah.
It's probably a function of the fact that they spawn so far away already that their pathing uses up a lot of its tolerance for long
just
paths
going around,
on just getting down to the place where they start digging.
Absolutely.
So there's lots of things that we can do. What are you thinking in regards to the symmetry? Do you want do you want 1-axis symmetry or 2-axis symmetry?
As in, do I want just a long corridor with 2 entrance points, or do I want 4 entrance points?
Yeah. Like along 1 axis would be, if it's symmetrical along 1 axis, then you'd have an entrance to the north and
I see
to
what
the
you
south.
Mean. I think the simpler, the 1 point of entry. If we do find that there's
1
still
point of entry or
sorry,
2 points
the double point of entry rather than 4.
Right.
So the 1 plane of symmetry is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, no, that sounds perfect to me.
Because I do think that if they if we have trouble with that, we can always amend it and try and add more points of entry, or even build another base that has that. But I think keeping it simple is probably easiest.
Okay. Now the next question is, where do you want to set this up?
Anywhere.
Have you got any ideas?
Anywhere that's just a nice big flat area where they're not going to have pathing issues.
To the north is a decidedly not nice big flat area.
Yeah.
The desert is a decidedly flat area, but it's warm.
It's warm, yeah.
Oh,
maybe on the approach to the desert as the land starts to flatten out.
On the approach to the desert where the land flattens out, where
like, where the temperate biome turns into desert.
Yeah.
Around there, I think the temperate biome is fairly flat, but as long as we stay slightly into the temperate biome,
I'm looking at the map, and
issues.
It doesn't look like it has any flatness to it, I'll be honest. There's a lot
of I see what you
hills
mean.
around there. Personally, I would favor being close to traders no matter where we go.
Yeah.
Because the closer you are to traders, the easier it is to check the trader, and the easier it is to check... to get quests and the like. But we have got transport, so that's not a big issue. I'll leave it up to you to decide where we set it
I'll
up.
have a scout around because it doesn't need
Yeah.
to be a huge flat area, just big enough, you know.
Yeah, indeed. I would definitely like to get on with working on this sooner rather than later, though.
Well, I'm thinking right to the south of, or even just to the south of town, just below that southwest quadrant.
Okay.
Just below there, that looks pretty flat, doesn't it?
Yeah, the southwest quadrant, absolutely.
Yeah, let's see if we can put it there. I'll go scout that out on the motorbike quickly and see what I think about the area when I'm actually down there. All right.
Yeah, by all means. Happy for you to crack on with that. I'm just going to make a bunch of forged iron.
If you find any
really
cooking pots, please keep them. I need 3.
We can make them.
Oh. I didn't realise you could make them.
Yeah, you make them in a forge.
Oh.
From,
okay, well.
What is it, 31 iron and 6 clay? It's probably different for you.
I'll quickly make them then, because I need them for my chemistry set.
Fair enough. The compound crossbow I made is not quite as good as the one I have, but it might be better than the one you have. So by all means, please check it out. I think I popped it in the sale chest. So have a gander in there.
Take a look. So, range damage of 40. What's my crossbow like? Range damage of 35. Yeah, it's much better.
Then, there we go. It is yours.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
You're
it's got better
welcome.
durability, better range damage.
Excellent. My iron crossbow is level 5, so it isn't too surprising that it's a bit better than what I can have out of that, but still fairly
Makes
good all the
sense.
same.
I'll be good. I'll plant these oak seeds.
I am going to head out and just going to start decommissioning part of the horde base. Do you want me to decommission it now or wait?
Decommission it now. We've got days and days before the next horde. There's no need to worry about that because we will work on it quite actively, I think, until it's ready. Okay. I've got a load of rebar frames to start sort of planning it out, and I've put some more on, I believe, if I did what I was meant to do. I believe I put some more rebar on in the forge.
Okay. We will leave this as a point of interest for future adventurers. They'll come upon this place and wonder what on earth went on. They'll try and puzzle through the story. They'll find the demolished parts of the walls, but they'll find no electrical wiring. But maybe they can guess the use. Who knows? I hope
the story will be that the zombies got in. The adventurers tried to hold up, but the zombies got in.
I feel compelled at this point to go and find some corpses and just lay them around, just so the future adventurers coming along. It's like, oh well, look at this stuff. Wow, this is the 2 skeletons over here. This must have been their last stand. How marvelous! And moving on. That would actually be quite cool. Right, I'm gonna grab
this area is pretty good. If we chop down some trees and stuff, it's not like perfectly flat, but it's not far off.
Okay.
And there's a decent size of it.
Wow, both of the turrets actually had engaged.
Ah, cool.
So the turrets had been fighting for us. That's pretty cool. I'm really happy with that.
Go turrets.
Had wondered at one point because a zombie came through the door with me, and I was.
And you were like, there's one in here. Yeah.
Yeah, and I bailed because the door was closing, but it just wasn't closing fast enough. And I bailed because he was like, yeah, I'm going to die if I hang tight here.
Yeah.
But I assumed at the time, Sheila must have taken care of it. But no, actually looking at it
No, it wasn't.
now,
It was the turret because I was on my way to help, and then you were like, oh, it seems to be gone. I was like, oh, okay, good, because I was taking ages. I think this is a really good area. It's pretty flat. I mean, obviously you're never going to find perfectly flat, but it's pretty good.
Well, the thing is, we're going to be replacing everything with concrete. It's going to have concrete floors, concrete roof, concrete everything.
Exactly, so, but it's matter. We're not going to have tons of stuff to dig through and worry about.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you wanting to use water still?
I kind of, part of me thinks so, and part of me worries that was causing issues.
I have no knowledge of how water would affect pathing. I really don't know. So, what we could do is if you want one axis symmetry, we could go ahead and have a one of the entrances have
yeah, we
water in
could
it,
do
and one
a
of the
little
entrances,
test.
one of the entrances have water, and that way, but mimic everything else. So dig
Yeah.
the same kind of trench, put the electric fence in the same kind of place, so that it's a fair test, and we'd then be able to see if the zombies prefer to go through an area without water versus one that does have water.
So what
Because
I
it does
think
slow them down.
I would like to do now then. Oh, my cook pots are done for my chem set. Lovely. What I think I would like to do now is take the... I never put the rebar on, did I? No, I didn't. I'm very silly. What I think I want to do is just to go and take the chainsaw and cut down like a bajillion trees in that area. And just then we can have a look at the land. But I think it's pretty good.
Okay, yeah. Sounds like a plan.
I need to find the chainsaw first. There it is.
I must say, though, despite the amount of zombies that were burrowing, I feel that the concrete reinforcing we did held beautifully.
Yeah.
They did dig through parts of it, but it was going to take them an age. It would have taken them the whole horde night to get through all of that and actually get to us, to a point where they could attack us.
Yeah.
So I feel that the reinforcing that we had done definitely worked.
Yeah, I think so too. Right, so I'm going to open up one of the gas cans.
Rightio.
And then I've got plenty for the chainsaw. And I need a repair kit, but they're all in the horde base, aren't they, at the moment? Like, do I make one, or do I
made a couple myself for that exact reason, but I brought those with me, unfortunately.
I might just make it rather than... Is that right? Repair kit.
Yep. What on earth is that wire going to? I have no idea. Nothing anymore.
Oh, it's duct tape. Well, I took cloth. I wish it was cloth.
That would be amazing, and would probably be the only reason you would have a cotton farm.
Yeah.
Let's be perfectly honest, no one has cotton farms.
Of course. There is no duct tape. But there is some glue.
Right. I am bringing along all of the items from the storage boxes in the horde base.
Yeah.
The whole base at this point is gutted. There's one torch in there, and that's all it's going to have, really.
Cool, that's fine.
I'm just going to transfer it all back to the base for now, so it's in a centralized location.
Yeah. And then eventually we'll move the whole of this base. This base will get gutted and moved over to the new base area, provided it works better. So.
Okay, sure. Yep. Now,
right, I'm ready to go deforest.
I was specifically picking up quests, by the way, in different towns that we would have a reason to go there.
Oh, nice, yeah.
For the time being, I assume that we're going to forestall that just so that we can get...
Yeah, just for a day or two, if that's all right.
Yeah, no, that is perfectly fine. Just knowing that that's our focus for now is good enough.
Yeah. I'm sure no one will mind us doing a little bit of remaking of the base. Some people might actually be relieved because they're like, oh, come on, that base is rubbish. We need a new one. And honestly, I think we're in such a better position to quickly throw up a base now because we've got all the materials.
Well, yeah, we've got a large amount of...
And we can go straight to concrete rather than having to worry about flagstone and then upgrading the flagstone and then upgrading, So...
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so chainsaw, and we'll just get these trees down.
Right, we finally have legitimate overflow of medical supplies, so I'm starting to push them into the upper
chest. Fair enough.
Upper chest, yeah. I need my tea. Tea. It's fine. I'd only just drunk some tea before I died in the last episode, so you know what? No regrets. Died with the taste of tea on my lips.
Died with tea in your mouth.
Yeah, it's fine. If you're gonna have to go with a mouthful of tea. Right, there we go. Everything's good.
Zombie.
Loads of ammo.
Did I fell a tree on his head, maybe? I'm just gonna make this into a nice, big, flat, treeless area where we have good visibility. And the zombies aren't going to be like, oh, there's a tree in my way.
Now, have you got any plans to do any of the building differently in the new horde base?
How do you mean?
Like, do you have any particular designs on different trap placement, or are you going to go with the idea of having some electric fencing?
I think the electric fences worked really well where they were. It's just that the zombies, like when the zombies went through them, they did great. So I don't think that there's a reason to change that up too much. It seems to work well.
Something that works, yeah.
Yeah. If we then find that there's a problem with it, we could maybe look at moving it if it becomes a problem when we finally get loads of zombies through there. Then yeah, okay. But so far, it's been pretty good.
There is a steel armor schematic, by the way, in case you're
nice.
interested in learning how to do that. I'm just going to scrap that bedroll so we've got a little bit more room. Honestly, I'll probably throw out a lot of the hay bales as well for that reason. I've got so much leather. Ugh. Can I make anything I could sell?
What, dusters, isn't it? Can't you sell the dusters?
I can make dusters, yeah, but I can't make leather armor.
My chainsaw is just making so much noise that I just, every 2 seconds I'm hearing like... I'm a zombie. My zombie impression.
Very good. Super realistic. I actually would have shot you.
The sarcasm there was quite amazing.
I can make iron armor, but I don't need to get rid of iron supplies. What I need to get rid of is the leather. But we do actually have the means to make some military gear. I think I should probably just take a point in light armor at some point. Just so that I can start learning to make leather items out of the enormous amount of leather that we're stockpiling. Because right now, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
The amount of leather we have.
We need a little bit of leather just in case we need it for something, but not like all that.
Guess it's scrap.
This area
armor
up here
I
seems
could
more
make.
flat for people that are watching my side. So let's get the trees down from here. We won't be running out of wood for a while.
But that's all I can make really with the leather at the moment, which is not exactly worth our time. We'll have to leave that for now. Alright then, so with all of that said and done, do you have your... I'm going to pop down a little bit of a waypoint down there. New horde base. New horde bass. Not quite what I meant.
Horde bass. But that is still base, it's just like... all about the base, no travel.
Wow, really. There we go. My lord. There is a airdrop just south of you, interestingly.
Ah, right, yeah, I'll go grab that in a second.
Right here.
I'm doing quite a good job here. We're going to have a nice sort of flat-ish area that we can start working on very soon. There is iron around here as well that we can dig out.
Excellent. I'm just gathering up all of the various supplies that we have available and gonna try and keep them ticking along where possible. You know what? Let's make another chest. I think I've got two. There we go. Make a little chest over by the cement mixers for now. Just for all of the cement mixery stuff. In fact, the cement as well. That saves us a little bit of room. We've got a bit of a base-focused episode on the way. I do apologize for anyone who was eagerly awaiting to find out what the tier 4 quest would be. But we will get to it. Don't you worry.
We will, and it will be cool. And we can rampage through, because we're making bullets now. We can rampage through with all the bullets.
That is true.
So good.
Yeah. I'm gonna move the rebar across to the concrete area as well.
Yeah.
Because they go hand in hand, basically.
Yeah.
It seems the most logical place to have it. Right. I want to make some more. Maybe I should be making though. I shouldn't be making these basic arrows. I should be making steel arrows. Steel arrowhead. Damn it. Bolt. Flaming crossbow bolts. That'd be nice.
Okay, so I'm going to sort of plan out part of the base in rebar now.
Right, okay.
Because I've got a nice big flat area.
Okay, I can make flaming crossbow bolts. But it does cost a fair old bit to do. Costs a chunk of gunpowder, a decent amount of animal fat, a decent amount of cloth fragments. Okay, so used for cloth. But one of the things that stands out the most is the fact that steel arrowheads, we can get quite a lot of these. And I think at this point... Oh, need the crucible. Ah, damn it, got the crucible in the wrong place. Let's move that across. Yeah, I'm going to make a bunch of steel arrowheads at this stage. If I can.
Would a 5-wide corridor be better or 3-wide, do you think?
3 wide because, well, I mean, the length of a electric fence, I think, is 9 tiles. So 5 wide is the minimum you can have with a 1 tile wall between the electric fences. But I would say 3 wide because 5 wide just gives them more room to spread out.
Yeah, and then I
don't think there's really any particular reason to do.
There's no advantage to it, yeah. Fair enough. That's what I shall do then.
But I did notice that making steel arrows only requires polymer, not feathers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting lots of polymer.
Yeah, we've got a lot of polymer, like a redonkulous amount of it. I'm going to make the arrowheads that I've just made into arrows, but yeah, I definitely think we need to start looking at that. And I will probably check out being able to make some of the flaming crossbow bolts. Just keep a stack for emergencies.
Yeah.
Maybe. There we go. I think I'm almost satisfied with the way the inventory of the base is managed.
Oh, very good.
I
built half the horde base already.
Sort of stuff. Yeah, I know, right?
Just in the time it's taken to do the inventory management. I hate it. Takes so long. It really does. And I do appreciate everything you do with inventory management because it's
thank you.
Pain in the bum.
Right then. In terms... did you get the mini bike back, by the way?
I'm not sure where the mini bike is right now. I'll come and have a look for it in a minute.
It's okay. I will take care of it.
It's probably on the side of the mountain somewhere.
It's fine. It's okay. I think you nabbed my motorbike too.
Did I? Yours? Oops.
I think so.
You can... Well, there was one on the road, so
yeah, there's always 2 around.
Yeah,
no,
I just sometimes
fine.
don't know which is which because they're very identical.
Wow, the mini bike was up here somewhere. I'm certain it was. Yeah, there we are. I saw it during the horde night, and I thought, oh, yeah, that must be how Sheila got over here. That makes sense.
Yeah, it was.
But I couldn't figure out which crater it was in. Right, there we go. But yeah, if we end up building the turtle design base, and one side with water, one side with without, and they always go for the side without water, then that might be a point of redemption for this base, with the idea that it would have worked, but for the water that we thought we were helping it with.
Yeah. Quite possibly.
There we go. Right, I have finished removing everything from the previous horde base. So with that all done, I guess now would be a time to go and help Sheilab with the new one.
Just come and give me your opinions on the design as well.
Will do. I've made sure that the base is currently continuing to make a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So the forges are lit, the processes are running, the chem station's going, etc., etc. All of the stuff that we need to make sure of is happening. Let's drop off these items. We had quite a few in the end. So many feathers.
So we will definitely need, so that the zombies don't dig down and under with this sort of design, we're going to want a floor built into the ground, aren't we? We need to dig.
I would say so. Yeah, I would definitely say that there's going to be a need for that. I also feel that at this point there is a need for electricals. A chest for electricals somewhere. So let me get that sorted. There we go.
So then we've got 2 wide here.
Maybe base construction materials. No, I kind of like the idea of all the concrete stuff being in the same place. But definitely for electrical items, the relays, light bulbs, all that kind of junk. I think it would be really good to have all of that in one place. Engines included. Well, no, the engines can stay, I guess. That does make more sense where it is. Is there anything else in there I need to move?
If you could bring the rebar down when you...
By all means, yeah. I'll absolutely bring that along. Happy to help. Alright, let's get all of that across here. Perfect. Yeah, I'll put the wire tool actually in the tool chest. That makes more sense. Paintbrush. We do not need the wrenches we've got, but saving up wrenches is never a bad move because, you eventually need them. Yeah. So, there we go. Things are a tad bit better organized now. And you wanted me to bring rebar down. Do you want me to bring the concrete too, or just the rebar? I imagine just the rebar so you can plan out things, is it?
Yeah, rebar to plan out. And what I want to do is just get an idea of how big the first thing we're going to need to do, I think, is to put down a big concrete square of flooring. Would you agree?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Once we know the dimensions that we're working with.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out dimensions right now.
100% on that.
So there we've got the corridor.
Okay, I'm going to grab the power tools. You've got the chainsaw with you, have you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right, I'm heading over to the new horde base. Hooray! Now then, I am going to have to hold up my hands and say I really apologize if these next, or well, the last 2 or 3 episodes, really, including this one, and the next couple of episodes, including the last 2, are enacted without addressing some of the comments. I am massively trying to backlog because I'm going to be away for a week.
Yeah.
So I really apologize, and so that goes for Sheilab as well, because she's being forced to go through all of this without being able to look in on comments and put together your feedback and implement that as a result. So I do apologize for that. Here you go, Sheilab.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, I think we need to go out to about here with a concrete floor, because this here is the main corridor. Mm-hmm. This is the corridor behind where all the electric traps and things will be, so it needs to be too wide, I believe. That's what we had last time.
Yeah, it would need to be too wide, yeah.
And then I think what we're going to need is, because it's 3 tall, we're going to need at least 3 out this way of slope.
More. If we want to make this, well...
Do you want
actually, no, you're right, you're right.
So do you want it going down...
you can either have the slope super steep, which means
Yeah.
zombies can't climb it, which defeats the purpose of why we're putting it there. It would be great on our current horde base because it would result in the zombies falling quite far. Once they were on the
Yeah.
slope, they would just fall down. Or you can have it shallow so that there's almost no desire to dig.
Because we could have it really shallow, so we could have it 6 out rather than 3 out, if you want.
And additionally, we probably
4,
want
5,
double
6.
thick ceilings, frankly. Simply because if you don't, then they may be inclined to climb up on top and then dig down.
So then a double thick ceiling would then mean we'd need 2 more things of slope then, wouldn't it? So
I would say that would be the better
then.
option for us, yeah.
So that is where we need the floor. I'm just trying to mark out where we're going to have to dig this floor, basically.
Iron crossbow, going to scrap that one straight away. There's some iron crossbow bolts and a bunch of food. There we go. Whoop whoop. Right, let's get up here and back
1,
down
2,
to She Lab.
3, 4, 5,
Now,
6, 7, 8, 9,
how
11, 12.
how are you going to be building this? Do you want the same sort of point for water and the likes? Like, do you want the same kind of length of corridor, etc.?
Sorry, I was counting.
Oh, that's fine.
The same length of corridor. Well, the shorter it is, the better. But I'm still trying to decide.
The shorter it is, the less time the zombies have to be slowed down.
I'm still trying to decide on corridor length. I think we need a cage of about 3 by 3 to at least stand in. Maybe 5 by 3.
I would say. With the cage, our current cage is, if it's, I would say 5 by 5. If we include basically the wall sections as part of that area. Okay, and in the middle, we should have a stairs going down. Because if we want to make it into a horde base as well, because one of the reasons why our current horde base was so hard to troubleshoot is we had no test runs. Whereas in our previous base, in the previous series, our horde base was also our base. So all of our forges were running in the same place, all of our everything, pretty much. And towards the end, witches were a common occurrence. And we could generate a test horde pretty much whenever we wanted. That was an invaluable resource.
That's our cage. That's our cage for us to stand in.
Okay, well, let's start from this then. And then work back from there. Do you happen to have any torches at all?
No.
That is fine. I'm going to go ahead and just dig down the dirt. I know, using an auger for dirt digging. Sacrilege. Sorry, not sorry.
I'll come in behind you with a rebar frame and just pop that in as the floor.
Yeah. Because this will be our floor area. Yeah, exactly. And I would say this should be a 5 by 5, not a 5 by 3. Just miss the very central tile.
Okay.
Because that'll be our hatch downwards into the main base.
So I need to do this without all the rebar falling off.
Well, how about we take the rebar from above? Because we don't need a roof yet.
I was just trying to see what shape it was and stuff, so yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we need to have that right now,
fine.
as you see. I just don't want to lose the rebar by it falling down.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's why I wanted to take it away, so that the rebar wasn't in the way of us undermining it. So let me just grab all of that. And it would be very easy to accidentally remove all of the supports from the rebar pillars.
Yeah.
And then it would just collapse on top of us. Wouldn't necessarily do much damage, but we would lose the rebar.
Yeah, and that's just annoying because it's iron and stuff. So
yeah,
there we go. That's the starts of the cage.
Now I didn't bring any concrete back with me, and now I'm regretting.
That's okay. We can go and grab some.
Also, have you decided whether you want this pointing the north-south or east-west?
Well, at the moment we're going for north-south, I believe.
Is that what you want?
I think so.
Or is that just arbitrarily what you started with?
Arbitrarily. I don't know if there's a particular advantage to either, so I don't... I don't see what the difference is.
South is a mountain. North is a city. West is a plain leading to some sort of point of interest. And east is a forest. I would say that from this position, south is less desirable.
So you think an east to west design then?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay. I'm going to pick up some of this rebar that's here then.
There we go. We should be good right now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But this is a good starting point.
Yeah.
Now, what we're obviously going to want to do is also have the part underneath.
Underneath
anything
the
we
rebar
build,
there
any
need
walls
to be dug down.
Also, yeah. We want the whole thing to be properly.
So if we just do,
if
we just do the digging first, then. So now we've got that little platform done. We can just take these out of the top here.
There you go.
And
Took me a second to adjust for her gate there, but sure. Now, in the current horde base, we do have the access point for the tunnel dug out a little bit. So what I could do is, if we wanted a 3 wide corridor.
Yeah.
Pop, pop, like that. Do the same over here. Pop, pop. And same over here. But we want to have access to the internals of that, the sides of that corridor.
Yeah.
To repair whatever, flick switches, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that this time it might actually be good if we're designing it from the ground up like this, to actually have the relays running underneath.
Mm.
And then sliding up to whatever they need to go to. Of course, we will have to have some in the roof to activate lighting, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Alternatively, if we had glass, we could have the lighting under the ground, shining up through the water.
Might be quite cool, but
I
don't know if I want to.
Glass, for example, to prevent the lighting from being damaged.
That's what I was going to ask, is will the glass be too fragile? So let's see.
Bulletproof wouldn't. Bulletproof
glass block.
Yeah. It's on par with concrete. Bulletproof glass is incredibly hard to break.
Sandstone, lead, iron, clay.
Sandstone?
Sandstone.
Oh, right. I was going to say, where do you get sandstone?
How do I need to make that then? Because it's got a closed book on it.
Ah, okay.
I don't know.
Maybe that's something that we would actually have to find the schematic for.
Possibly.
Does it say anything about it? Because they usually will give you an idea. Bulletproof glass block requires.
Can you see?
I don't have a closed book. I've just got a forge icon.
Well, maybe you've picked it up then.
I might have. Okay.
Or maybe it's something. I've got a forge icon, but then when I click on it and I look at it, the description is a closed book.
We'll have a quick double check. Yeah, the description is always a closed book.
Oh, okay.
That's just showing that it's like text. There we go.
Do you want me to head back and grab some concrete?
By all means.
And also start making the bulletproof glass?
Well, we don't know if we're necessarily going to be using that yet. That was just kind of an idea.
Right, okay. Well, I'll grab the concrete
By all means.
That's fine.
Yeah. Why does she always take my bike?
But it was showing me to that bike as mine. Like on the map.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm wrong. I couldn't see my bike on the compass. I was like, oh no,
the
my bike is
said
taken
it
again.
was mine.
I'm such a scallywag Aavak. I'm sorry. There we go. I'll just continue digging this out. It's kind of nice to build a horde base from scratch, I will be honest.
Yeah.
There we go. Now, one thing that we've got to be aware of, like the bulletproof grass, that's not going to be needed for now for a long while.
Yeah.
That's like once we're putting in lamps
Detail.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is not something we need for a good long while. You went with the rebar.
I went off with the rebar.
Some of
Oops.
this.
Apologies.
There we go. No, it's okay.
Okay, these forges have run out of stones for the cement. Let's just see if there's any more.
Right, I've got some food. I think, I deserve some lamb rations.
We may just need to go through like a big mountainside or boulders and stuff with the auger.
That is completely an option, yeah. Absolutely an option.
Because we're going to need a lot of concrete.
Just for a fun exercise, I could completely hollow out the mountain around the old horde base just for the sake of it.
Just to give it a bit of
to
revenge.
Assert dominance.
Yes. Right, well, I've grabbed the concrete anyway. I'll bring it down.
Okay. Why did I park my bike so far away? Crazy.
Maybe you weren't quite sure where I was.
No, I'm fairly certain that one actually was your bike, but I'm not entirely.
Oh, you know what it'll be? It'll be because I took your bike, then you had to take my bike, you parked it, and then I went back for my bike because it was on the compass. That's what it was. So we ended up swapping over.
I have no idea, honestly. I think the way the bikes and the compasses work and that sort of thing isn't quite how it used to be anyway.
No, I think it might be my fault actually, but never mind.
There we go.
Okay, so I have concrete and rebar on me.
All right. If you drop the rebar, I can start laying some down.
Lovely. How about I drop half and then we've both got a stack of 100
Thank you.
we can play with.
There we go.
Should I start concreting up the bottom layer, or are you wanting to lay
concrete any floor rebar, but not.
Would you like to lay things underneath it first, or?
No, because we can always do that later. As long as you're careful in the way you excavate, it shouldn't be a problem.
You can always dig a tunnel underneath or something and just dig out one block and tunnel under.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So crack on with the concrete thing.
Super satisfying.
Yeah. Now, given that, we're going to want the tunnels moving out in this direction, so I'll start laying those walls down. Or rather, the corridors. I have no idea how many tiles out you want this to be, though. Do you have any kind of idea on that?
What, on how many tiles of corridor we want?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, to get electric traps, how many... Are we going to want another 2 electric traps? Because then we want...
How do you mean electric traps?
The thing is, we don't have to have that stupid ramp anymore because it's on a level.
Well, you do if you want water.
Yeah, that...
And since you want to test it, we need to do the same on both sides to make the test as equal as it can be.
We're going to need a ramp of about, like, 2 or 3 tiles at least.
Yeah.
And then we're going to want at least...
These will be the doors. Because we'll want the doors from the sides like we had in the last one, unless you particularly don't. We don't actually need doors on each side. We can have door on one side of this design.
Yeah.
And maybe just... instead of mirroring it on the other side, but...
yeah, we don't need to do that, actually, you're right.
Location. Actually, the doors will have to be slightly further up front because we've got to leave room for the wall against which the iron grill will be placed.
Oh, did you take that rebar away because you didn't want...
Sorry?
Rebar, the rebar that was in the middle there. You're leaving a space there.
Yeah, that's going to be the ladder down.
Land. All right, ladder down. Cool.
We need if you wanted to have the horde base, the main base here, because you'd mentioned that you wanted that.
It would be pretty
And
cool.
again, that was one of the main reasons why we were able to test the horde base in the previous series, is because the main base was drawing in witches every now and then.
Yeah. So we've run out of concrete now. We're gonna need more stones.
Okay, that is definitely something we can work on. 2, 3, 4, and I would say a electric fence trap there. Oh,
Hello, friends.
No, they're friends. Incoming. He wasn't down. Got him?
Yeah.
Excellent work. Look around, nothing else.
This is why we aren't afraid to work at night anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. With the amount of ammo that we have, it's really not a problem. We could start excavating out this area ready for a horde base, for a main base. And even if we do nothing else, we could put in some...
That's a good idea, because if we did that, we would...
we could have the forges for cement and the likes here.
Yeah, and also, by excavating, we'd be killing two birds with one stone, because we need to excavate something anyway to get the stone. Yeah.
The alternative is to continue gathering resources like metal in specific mining runs. Because honestly, we are never not going to need it. That will never be a time when we...
like there's there's an iron node over there that might be quite useful. It'd be good to get a second auger, definitely.
Yes, absolutely. But that is going to require scavenging. We need more mechanical, motor tools parts.
Yeah. In the meantime, I can just use my spade and my pickaxe.
Now, what I've laid out here is the idea of... We've got the door there. Now, we could have the ramp go straight up to the tile in front of the door, if we want to. There's no particular reason not to do that. Likewise, honestly, you know what? Let's put the door there. Now, the reason why I've done that is we can just have a little half block around here to create the nice effect that we had last time. I think it'll still be fine. So we've got our door here, a 3x3 platform leading up to the door. Then we've got 2 tiles for a ramp. That'll drop if it's a shallow ramp, it'll drop the elevation by 1. Another 2 tiles, which will drop it to 2.
Yeah.
And then we have the electric fence traveling across here. And I would say maybe... How about 3 blocks between each electric fence?
Yep, that would be fine. So we're going to want it to be at least sort of 7 long then, aren't we?
So another one, another one,
2.
And an electric fence just out here. 1, 2, 3. Then a little bit of an entry point there. If I had a torch, I would lay a couple of torches down just to make this a little bit more obvious.
Yeah.
But I think this will be a decent enough route. Now the first, because we're going to test the lack of water, we don't need to rush to get water in here, because honestly, if we end up with some sort of horde attacking us without the water there, then we've got part of a test done.
Yeah.
In that we'll see if they do actually, they are willing to just go the way we want them to go. So we have the electric trap here, and then maybe at this point, we start bringing them back out of the water. So if I dig this down correctly, so we'd have a level of rebar over here for the ramp. Something like this.
Okay.
And then another 2 beyond this. And then that takes the fencing all the way down. Sorry, that'll be the lowest elevation part of the floor.
Well, I think this will
So
start
as long
coming...
as we...
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, once we know the lowest point in the flooring, we can start planning anything that is meant to exist under that floor.
Yeah.
But until then, you know, it's kind of guesswork on whether you're going to be doing more work for yourself or not. There we go.
I'd like to go, like, down quite a ways into the ground before we start, like, digging out the main base, you know? Have it quite a way
yeah,
below.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think if we use the kind of Jeffrey tube design that we used for the tunnels along the side with the electric fencing,
Yeah.
underneath as well, that'll just add extra layers of reluctance to the zombies for breaking that.
Yeah.
But this is as deep as it goes if we want water.
Okay.
That's the lowest point of the floor, and that seems quite useful to me. We can definitely make that work, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think just being able to just add extra cladding to the outside if we need to, and make and double reinforce everything and make it really, really tanky is going to help a lot.
I think the main advantage to this design that you've had ever since you started talking about the turtle base, was the idea of allowing zombies to just walk across the roof if they want to. If they're trying to get from A to B and the base is in the way, they'll just go over the base. If they're trying to get to the things inside the base, well, then the entrance point is fairly accessible on either end, so there's not going to be a reason for them to start digging. And the other thing is they're not going to spawn like 60 blocks up in the air on top of a mountain, so, you know, even before they get to the front door, they've already used up 60 blocks worth of pathing. And thus they're very reluctant to take any additional movement around the whole design. I think this is a pretty good start. I really like what we've got here, Sheila. Really
exactly. This was just it just sort of came to me when I was sort of thinking about why the other place wasn't working, and when they were like really struggling to get over the mountain and things. I was thinking, well, you know, surely the best thing to do is to let them just roam where they please and make it easy for them.
Yep. No, absolutely. And that's about as long as the corridor needs to be. And you know what? I've already got lots of ideas on how we can make this look really good. It'll end up looking like some sort of like Bond villain bunker in my mind's eye. That's already where it's going.
I'm looking forward to making this, and I'm really glad that we didn't start making our special home base in the other one, because I'm hoping this one will be a lot better. Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of the episode too. We need to start a new one and carry on with this awesomeness.
Well, hopefully everyone is as
excited as you.
Yeah, words. It's marvelous what you can do when your mouth is agreeing with your brain.
It's because you're just so excited about this new horde base, right?
Yeah, we'll put it down to that. Yeah, and I've drunk a cup of tea now, so I'm fine. I can alliterate it up with the best of them. But that is going to be it for us for now. Hope you enjoyed. Looking forward to your feedback in the comments. Again, I'm not going to be able to read them until I'm back at the very early part of February. These will be going up while I'm away, but I am really looking forward to seeing what you think about this design. So until next time, and as always, do take care, everyone.
And keep being awesome.